Hello everyone. For today's lesson, we are actually going to start working with our e-textbook. And if you go into classwork and look at the top where it says Foundations of Social Media, you will see a link here that says Chapter 1 Vocab and Knowledge Check. And so if you go ahead and open that, you'll see on the left here a thing that says Social Media Marketing Chapter 1.pdf. This is our first chapter of our textbook. And what I'd like for you guys to do is go ahead and complete the vocabulary and knowledge check that goes with this. There will be one other assignment and then a follow-up assessment after this, and that will be the next two classes. So we'll finish this one chapter in about 2 or 3 classes. So if you go to the PDF here, I'll go ahead and open it in a separate window. Let's see if I can get that. Alright, so if you open that up, the way I would do this assignment is I would have a window with your chapter docked to the right of your screen, and then have the other thing with the questions docked on the left. So I'm going to go ahead and put that back up there and grab our file that has this on it. And so if you're not already in there, let me show you where that was to get to this, just to make sure that you're in the right spot. So in our Google Classroom, it is located in the classwork under Foundations of Social Media. So we have that, and then you go down here to the Google form. And so if you have that open, you're in good shape. Obviously, you're going to have to put in your name. What I would do in reading this and any other text that you may work with in any of your classes, start by skimming and scanning. Look at the main headings, like Introduction and Marketing. Well, we know that this is going to be about marketing, this chapter. In particular, social media marketing. I'm going to zoom out of this a little bit. What you'll also notice is that certain words are in bold. And so as we go through, okay, we know our objectives here. After reading this chapter, we'll be able to define social media. So we know we're going to need to focus on that. We'll understand some principles of marketing. So whenever we see the word principle or marketing principle, anything related to marketing, in some cases it'll be something bold, then we know to focus on that. And then examine the uses of social media in marketing. So figuring out how social media becomes a tool for marketing. And so anything that's in bold, we know we need to zoom in on and focus in our attention on that. And so skimming and scanning, I'm looking at headings. Okay, I see social media marketing. We see, okay, so how social media marketing relates to the individual and to business and to society as a whole. We have this little table here that's top 10 reasons people use social media. And oh wow, here are the principles. So pretty much all of what you saw in that first little chunk here for the objectives, you can see it's outlined in these orange headings. So if you take notice of this, you can see, okay, well, we got marketing concepts. So we know that's going to be something important. We're going to need to think about that probably for this review that we're going to be doing. And then there's a graphic here. Okay, make just a mental note. We'll probably be looking at that. Marketing mix. Okay, so this is probably going to be a term that we're going to need to define because it's a heading and that. And it's going to be important. We know that these are probably related as some sort of type of or an overview of like components of a marketing mix. So we got product, promotion, price, place, and so on. So if you take the strategy of skimming and scanning, looking at all of these bold and big heading kind of things, you know that it's going to direct your focus on those things, and it'll be easier to find your answers to your questions that way. So after skimming and scanning that way, I would recommend actually reading through, or you could use the assignment as your guide. So as you're looking for brand promise, well, we know we need to find it in here. So we're going to zoom until we see brand promise. And once you find that, then you can read the definition. And what I want you guys to do is try to put the definition in your own words. So if you see the definition and you're making sense of it in your own way, then you can write about it in there and write your definition of it in your words. If it doesn't make sense, then maybe you can ask for a clarification or read some of the text that's around it so you get the context clues that will tell you what that word means. So after you've gone through all of this vocabulary, the next section that you'll have on here, which you can only see if you've completed the vocabulary, is the knowledge check. So these are questions that you're going to need to answer that are just basically, a way of finding out whether you understand the concepts here. So, understanding what social media marketing is. And what I want you to do is actually use what you've learned from reading this chapter. And that way you can get some clarification on some of the things that it's asking you in here. Otherwise, if you're just kind of guessing at it or writing what you think it is, you're not really learning anything. You're just kind of taking stabs at it. So the whole idea here is that you're going to take what you've learned from reading this chapter, first of all, again, skimming and scanning, and then second of all, going back through and double checking, using the assignment as a guide to help you see what you need to know for this. And then once you're done, then this should probably take all period, but if you finish early, you can use the time to go on the independent explorations, read, draw, do work for another class, and that's pretty much that. Our next assignment that you guys are going to be doing, you're going to be looking in particular at a case study in here, and I'm going to see if I can find it again. It was in the textbook, and you're going to be answering some questions about that. Oh, here we go. This whole Geico thing here, there is a thing that says market this. And as you get down to here, it'll kind of give you an idea of how this stuff is applied in social media marketing, how these concepts we've been talking about. So that's today's brief lesson. Have an excellent weekend. And I will see you guys in class today, and as well, I will see you on Tuesday.